Hello everyone and welcome to tonight's live stream of Question Time. This is a live stream where you can ask me any question you like about games development, Unreal Engine, whatever you like. All you have to do is put your question in the chat and I'll try and grab as many questions as I can within the hour or so that we're here live together. So yeah, hello everyone in chat. Hi Robin, I see Robin got there with the first question, so we'll be answering that one. Hope you're all doing well. One quick note, I am going to be at EGX London tomorrow, so if you're in London and are going to EGX, look out for me, come say hi. Be good to meet people and check out what you're doing. Anyway, let's jump in. Okay, so first question is from Robin Dow. He's asked a variation of this question a couple of weeks ago, but he needed some specific clarity. In multiplayer, Are either game mode or game state blueprints accessible by clients, and do either persist? Do level game changes. Also, I can confirm they take amount of time to fire up, as I set up a latch check system to validate they are loaded before trying to access them between 1 and 2 seconds. Okay, so alright, so game mode is only on the server, and there's only obviously one of it, but the server is only one with a game mode. Everyone else does not have a game mode at all. Okay, so if you try to get game mode, you'll get nothing. Game state though, each client has access to the game state. There's only one game state, but everyone has access to it. The game state is typically where you store things like score, for everyone's score together, so you can see how well your teammates are doing. Oh, sorry. That might be yawning, but today, sorry. Where you can find how well your teammates are doing, who's winning the match, and so forth. That's all stored in the game state. Yeah, so that's all there. But that's on clients as well as server. But they do not have access to the game mode. Whether or not they persist, no, they do not persist. If you want to transfer information across over levels, use streaming levels. It basically transfers information on the controller over to the next game level and game mode. So anything you want to transfer with the player, or you want to keep with the player controller, as that's assigned to the client, that's going to go with them as you go across all that. Anyway, next up. Next question is from Jacob Philpott. How do you make snappable objects, like is the case with a building system? So building systems typically work on grids. Now, we could go through and make it, but it's going to take too long. But I'll show you the key node that you need. So when you're trying to play stuff, once you've got your character ready to play stuff around, or your cursor's trying to play stuff around, you want to use, when you're doing snap vector, there you go, vector snap grid. So you put in the vector that you want to place them. So this could be like the mouse position, for example, or the player's position, whatever it may be. And then you put in the grid size. And basically what this does, it rounds up or rounds down that vector to that grid. So, I mean, I wonder if this works on the player character, actually. Let's try. I don't know if I've never tried it with an actual playable character. So this will be on a tick event. We'll do this here. We're going to do set actor location. I don't think this will work, but it's worth a shot. And the in vector here will be our actor location. And grid size will say 150. File save. And test this out. Well, okay, so you can see my character's stuck in the air because that's 150 in the air, but I can't move. So I need to not move it this way. Basically, but with the mouse cursor is where you want it to go. So maybe you could do like rather than doing that, we'll get hit results. Oh, I need to get the controller first, don't I? So under cursor or channel, get player controller. Okay, and I'm going to split this and put in a location of that. So as I drag my mouse around, get player controller. Yep. As I drag my mouse around, my character should. Oh, yeah, but it's busting everything else. Hang on. What would be a better way of doing this? If I actually make a little. All this to demonstrate how this works. Set relative. No, set world location. There. Right. Right. I'm going to turn collision off on this thing as well. That's going to cause issues. Yeah. So as I move my mouse around, you can see it snap into a grid. Okay. And it's a grid of 150. My box is 100, so it's going to look, you have a little gap there. If I change that then down to say 100, that should match perfectly with that box. But make sure the building pieces are all the same size or fit the same sort of ratio. And as you move it around, snap around. Okay. Yeah, that's generally how that works. Okay, next up we've got Martin Burge. Hi, I'm trying to use a vector to control cloud material direction for wind. I cannot manage it. Can you help? Yes, Martin. Are you using the volumetric clouds or these guys? Let us know. Go through that. No problem, unit. Thank you. Robin Dow, is there a quick question? Is there a way to easily and quickly get if a physics object is not moving / has stopped moving? Yeah, just get the velocity of it. If you just get the velocity of it, that'll work. Volumetric clouds, no problem. Okay, so if you go to your clouds here and scroll down, you get the material. Open it up, and it helps to do it on the other screen. But in here, you've got wind vector. Okay, so if you turn that on, you can test this out. I'm going to just put it on the other screen so you can see this working. So if I change this to go the other way, I can make the... Oh, I can change the direction of the clouds like this. And if I increase the number by a large number, so I put 5 in it, it's going to go faster. If I put 50, it's going to go really fast. Okay, so that is how you change those values. So again, over here, wind vector. And because it's an instance, if you want it to change live, okay, there you go. So if I want to change this live here and let go onto our player character, I'm going to get rid of this stuff. And let's say when I push the 1 key, we're going to get actor of class. And we're going to get the clouds, volumetric cloud. And pardon me, in there you're going to get material. I don't know how the clouds actually store it. Volumetric cloud, yeah. Get volumetric cloud component, and then maybe material from here. Yeah, get material. And in there we're going to do create dynamic material instance. Make that. Then from there we're going to do set vector parameter value, and this will be the same name as this, so wind vector. So just type that in there. Okay, and in here we'll just randomize the value, so we'll do random vector, and we'll multiply it by a random value as well, multiplied by a random float in range, and we'll go between 1 and 10. Okay, and that will go into there. So every time I push the button, it should randomly change the wind direction. In theory, so we'll go in here, push 1, nothing. I don't know. I've done wrong. I'm not too sure how this material system works for the volumetric cloud system. Weather, wind vector, yeah. Yeah, wind vector. Wind vector. By that. Pretty certain. This is the one with material. Yeah, cloud material. Get material. Oh, I've got to actually apply it because I've made a new one. Give me. Hang on. Because I don't think I can. No, can't. So yeah, on here I'm going to do set material. And a bit messy, but we're making do. We're making do. Hopefully you get the gist of this. And when I hit 1 now, there you go. Randomized cloud. I guess that's 0. Oh, what's happened? I broke it. Works once, but if I hit again, disappear. It may be because I'm creating more of these. I don't really want to do so. You get the gist of it. Okay, so it's the same way as you change any other material. I forget your answer there. No problem, Martin. Next question. Dudley Perumbra. I want to know how you make a party selection system like Dragon Age. I've been struggling to do that. Sure. Okay, let's make that. So let me get rid of my cloud thing. File, save. Okay, so first of all, you need your other characters. So let's chuck in there. And another one there. And I'm going to... what can I do? I want these to be moving around me. So there also be our AI navigation involved. So we're going to have F-mesh. And scale that around. Oop. And if that covers most of, if not the whole thing. Nope. Cut off. There you go. Right, so we've got that in there. And I'm just going to tell my third person character here, if on begin play, we are going to say AI move 2, and we're going to do a pawn self, and the target actor will be get player character. On success, hang on, I'll do this here. So on here we'll do custom event or move. Obviously your AI should be better than this. I'm just making a quick one. So on success we just call move again, and on here we call move. Okay. So these chaps should follow me around. Okay. So now I need to make it so I can switch between them. So in here you need some way of managing your party. Okay, so this could be on the player controller, for example, or game mode, or really whatever you like. I'm gonna do it on the controller. That's probably the best way of doing it. My player controller, and I need to tell my game mode to use that controller. Player controller, player controller. And on our player controller, we need to add these guys to their thing. So on here, on the begin play, we're going to do get all actors of class. How you get all your party members is up to you. You spawn them dynamically. Just do it at that point. Obviously, I don't have that, so we're just making do. This, and then we're going to promote that to a variable, and this will be my party members. And in there, you also want to have another variable, which will be current member, and that'll be a index, so an integer. But you want to keep track of which one you're possessing each time. Okay, so on my controller here, we're gonna make a button here to switch, which is one key again, trusty one to use. And I'm gonna make this switch over. So all I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take my party members array, get my current member index, and I'm going to add one to this. And I'm going to check if that's a valid index. Okay, so there is valid index. And if it's not a valid index, we're going to make it go back to the start. So it's like a loop. So in here, we're going to do select int. It's true. Goes to A. If not, goes to back down to 0. B. And if it's all successful, we set that to the current member there. So that's going to cycle through that number. Once you've got the number, you then get the party members array. And you do get copy that in there. And we want to possess this one. So we take this out and do possess. But before I possess this, I need to unpossess the other one and tell it to be possessed by AI. So on here, we're going to do get player character. And we're going to do unpossess. Oh, no, sorry. This one here, do unpossess. Oh, not player character, sorry. Getting ahead of myself. So unpossess what you're currently controlling. And then... Oh, no. Yeah, sorry, we do need a player control character. Sorry, my bad. Get player character. Because we need to know which one it is that we're trying to control. So on here, player character, we need to store this as a variable. So current member object. Plug that in. Unpossess. And then you're going to use that current member object to do spawn default controller. And what this will do is it will spawn the default AI controller and possess it. So that will happen there. And then I just want to possess the new one, which will be here. So we have to store it temporarily because we'll be detaching it from ourselves. So there's no way to getting access to that reference again. But whilst we've got it, we're going to get that reference, store it, unpossess it, and then tell it to possess itself. So as I push 1, we should cycle between each one. So 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1. Okay. And that is how you do a party system like this. They should be moving. Oh, yeah, I know why. Go. Yep. Rather than begin play, do it on possessed. That might be better. No, you're not going to do it. Come on. Possessed. Pass defaults. AI controller. Auto possess AI. Place in world. I'll do both. Place in world all spawned. Why's broken that? Unpossessed. Yes. Why aren't they coming with me now? What have I done? Yeah, that's still there. So they have a controller. They're just not running any behavior. Maybe put this on begin play and possessed. There we go. Right, so go around, push 1. Wait, why aren't you doing anything? Why is it not doing that? Being possessed. On default controller, possess it. Possess on. Maybe put a little delay on this. Maybe it's not doing it too fast. There you go. A little delay helped. Okay. Okay, so now I can switch between my different party members, and yeah. Okay, I can't remember who asked that, but hopefully there you go. Cool. Next question. Dan Powell. Hi Ryan, I've got a function but placeholder UI. I have since defined styles for buttons, etc. I know you can replace with, but it doesn't seem to work for user created widgets. Oh, it does. Yeah, it does work. You just have to, hang on, I'll show you. So there's your button. Yeah, I'm guessing you're doing this. So you're going replace with and trying to pick one from here. Just select your user widget one up here somewhere. Okay. And replace with animation sample. See? So you can just choose up here. Whatever one it's got selected, it'll be the one that's up here. That's what you mean. Hopefully that's what you mean. Welcome, Thomas. I can see your messages, Leonardo. Meg Twin, can you show how to add upper body slot in UE5 anim graph? I'm not sure of the placement with regards to the control rig. It's more of a case of like what you want to do in return of like the actual animation. I'm guessing you mean like do you put before or after the control rig part? Is that what you mean? I normally would put it afterwards because you're usually wanting to override some of that information. But check it out. I would put it after control rig. Paul V3D, how to make a photo mode for a player character. I've already got a video series about that. Check it out. How to make a photo mode. Yeah, by means do check it out. It covers quite a lot of things. Thomas, your one-to-one session link isn't working. Oh, isn't it? Which one are you talking about? The one in the description. So let's try and think of it now. That's the only one I probably haven't updated. Yeah, if you want sessions, by the way, head over to ryanlay.com. Click on the session link at the top. And you can find more details about sessions I do to help people out, train them, consult, whatever you want me to do. It's up to you. Yeah, it's like 60 minutes long, and I say all full details on the website. Paradox84, before starting to learn multiplayer, what should we do? Or what should we master? I mean, in areas like animation, VFX, UI, etc. Before you start learning multiplayer, ideally be well versed in just general game logic. Being able to communicate between blueprints well enough. Multiplayer is really hard to make. I would avoid making multiplayer for the longest time until you get really confident with it. And it's difficult because it's the keeping track of where the ownership is, where the relevancy is, and so on and so forth. As for particular systems, it doesn't really matter what you want to prioritize in terms of what you want to learn. It depends what kind of game you're making. But none of them should really affect multiplayer because they're all client-side stuff. But if you're interested in going into multiplayer eventually, I strongly recommend just having a good, strong foundational knowledge of just communicating between blueprints all the time. IORT3858. Hi Ryan, do you prefer support UE5 private sessions 1-on-1 moving forward versus UE4? I sent you a couple messages a while back but didn't hear back, so I figured I would ask. Oh, sorry if you sent me messages. Was that by email? It might have gone in my junk. I don't know. Yeah, so most of my sessions are nowadays in UE5, but I do have a few that are still in UE4. Happy to do either. Oh, Dudley, sorry. Yeah, so it's pretty much the same thing. But on your menu screen, you make your widget up and just pass through the index you want and make your player controller spawn with that index. They're very similar. It's just you're changing when that index gets set out. Yeah, no problem. Forward. Yeah, re-forward them. Yeah, super busy. Yeah, I am pretty much super busy. Yeah, a lot going on. What? Wheat Jean Van Dyke? Any chance of you making Unreal C++ tutorials? Yes, eventually it's on the to-do list. But that to-do list is gigantic. It's just a matter of prioritizing. Do what? But in terms of C++, my strongest advice to anyone who wants to do the C++ part: learn C++ first, and then worry about game engines. It's going to be a lot easier. Dark Soul question: where are you? What is the best way to get variables from player or multiplayer if it lets you say you want to get XP from one player but a specific player? What? Where's the best way to get variables from player on the multiplayer if, let's say, you want to get XP from one player but a specific player? There's a few questions to answer there, so it depends on what you want to do in terms of who's communicating it, who wants it, and so forth. But general rule of thumb is the client will make a request to the server, but the server knows everything going on, so the server can access everyone. So your client will make a request to the server, and the server will then do its thing, and then report that back to whoever asked for it, maybe. But I'd say I need more context about what you're trying to actually achieve. Yeah. Thanks, Thomas, for the support. Sorry if I'm going to butcher your name. Sorry. Huayo Lapi Allen. Can I get a personal tutorial with you? You can find out all details about the sessions I offer over on my website, ryanlaley.com. Glad to help, Paradox. Let's say you're asking about, I saw it, but about your frisbee. You want it to swerve left and right based upon what inputs? Sure. Okay. Like a frisbee. Frisbee. One frisbee. Add projectile movement. We'll give it initial speed of 1,000. Max speed, oh hello, of 1,000. Gravity I'm gonna keep on as 1. Should bounce, sure. Bouncy frisbee. And the rest of this I can leave alone. Okay, so this is just get me throwing it out first. So let's go to my player character. And we're going to we'll just remove this stuff for the AI stuff now. And we'll do a right mouse button event, and when I push this we're going to do spawn actor from class. Class is going to be a frisbee. Spawn transform, I'm going to make it very simple. I'm just going to put a scene component in where I want it to spawn. Worry about animation, stuff like that. We'll just put that out here and go to here and drag that out. Get transform. Get World transform. We want world transform. There we are. Pop that in there. Sure. Okay, so let's see if that flings out. Okay. Yep. Okay, so I just need to make that better, obviously. Frisbee, sphere. I don't know what it's destroying on hit though. Hang on, was it actually destroying on hit, or was it just going through the world? Just going through the world. Oh, it's because, hang on. I need to make sure I've got a route here of some collision aspect here. Big collision. There. New route. And this one. Okay, so I've got that. This thing will be set to block all. There we go. Okay, so we've got Frisbee. So let's make it fling upwards a little bit. I'm going to go to my scene component and just make it turn it up a little bit. Like that. Cool. Right, so I've got a Frisbee flung out. I'm also going to make it rotate based on its velocity too. So do rotation follows velocity. Okay, right. So to make it have some control over it, because it's not a pawn or an actor, you can't directly control it. However, there's a hack workaround. You can make it enable inputs on it. So on begin play, I'm going to do enable input. And this means it's going to read inputs from the player controller in at least a temporary state. And now if I push, let's say A key, it'd be easier if I just did this. There you go. A key. We're going to change its velocity a little bit. So projectile movement here. I want to go to velocity and to set. Ooh. What would be the way to do that? I do get velocity and then do add to the, so A is to the left, so that'd be Y -1. Oh, opened up Visual Studio to accident. Go away. Do -100, and then I'm going to set that to velocity. I think that's right. Plug that into there. So I'm going to try and make it curve to the left. Yeah, there you go. I'm just spamming the A key. But you can make it an input axis and make it work with you holding it down if you want me to. So I could make a little separate input for this, I guess. Go to inputs, axis mapping. A2. We'll take this one, bend, Frisbee. Make that A. Make that D. A will have -1. And then for my Frisbee, rather than doing this, we'll do bend Frisbee. Okay, and that's going to go in there. Now, because this is like a tick event, so it's constantly going to be doing it, so you're not going to do that high of a value. So we'll probably just split this and just put that directly into Y there. And that should hopefully be enough. No, need more. So we'll just multiply it. Hang on. Multiply by. And we'll do 10. Okay. I can now bend my frisbees based on my A and D keys. Does it work when I rotate the character? Yeah. The problem is, because we've done enable input, that A and D is overridden by that thing. So the way around that is on your frisbee, on this thing here, you want to not consume input, turn it off. And that should hopefully allow it to still move around. Yeah. So that's still reading. So if I shoot out and then run to the right, it will now follow me where I bounce. Yeah. Yoink. Magic frisbees. That's quite fun. Oh, hold on. One thing to note is, oh yeah, sorry. So one thing I've that doesn't work is this velocities, and I need to be in local space. I need to convert that to the transform. So I need to transform direction from inverse transform. Inverse transform direction. Yeah. And do actor transform. Because it's working one way but not the other, so now if I go this way, oh, how's it doing that? Yeah. Hang on, this is not the right thing. Hang on, let's velocity. Let's try a set velocity in local space. Let's try this. Don't know what that does to it. Let's have a look. Oh, hello. Oh, that's weird. Okay. No. Let's just do this as a let's split this without adding the existing one to it. Right, so that's okay. Okay. So I need to right. Well, we had it closer with this other method, so you'll stick to that one. It's just the problem is that we got is that when I'm facing the other way, my velocity here is not the correct way. So I need to get the velocity and tweak this by this amount. By its forward vector, maybe? No, right vector. Get actor right vector. And we want to multiply this by this. See what this does. Okay, so it still works this direction. This way. And there you go. Yeah, it works that way now. So to recap, what I just did is I done this. This is the strength thing, but I'm using the actor's right vector and multiplying that by the strength, and then adding it onto its velocity. So it's going to bend towards that way. If it's using the right vector, because whichever way it is, it will work. E. Trying to make it go around me. Still fun though. Fun to watch. Yeah. Anyway. Cool. That was a fun one to figure out. Good one. Trying to find a question. Give me a sec. Oh, Dark Soul rephrased the question. Hold on. If you Dark Souls, if you want to do that, you can just replicate the XP value. As long as you're adding XP onto the server version of it, it's replicated. It will then translate that to all the other people. Hope that helped. Yeah, good done, Lasse. Good. Sam, I want to draw 3D models with pavement on my landscape with splines. Crossroads wouldn't work without crisscrossing pavements. It's not simple, but do you have any thoughts on how I could achieve this? Yeah, so crossroads are difficult. You can't do that if you want to have pavements. So the trick to it is probably to add the pavements as a separate thing to the road. Or as a crossroad as a whole entire separate thing itself. You just stitch it on and make it look like it's part of one thing. But yes, there is no way to handle things like that. Sorry, because it's just because it's a spline. Dudley. Okay, so yeah, menu thing. See if I can make it quickly. Annoyingly, I've got in another project which I can probably show, but I don't know. I can't which one it's in. Yeah. And in here, we'll make a quick widget. I'm not going to do anything graphically nice. Player select. And in here we'll have a horizontal box. Oh, hello. Yeah. And in there we're going to have button. Pardon me. Padding. Oh, yep, there we go. We're gonna have. So you got 4 characters. Okay, you want to pick which one you want to play as. In your buttons here, when you click on them, you want to send that information over to your save file, to your game mode, to your game instance, whatever you want to do. You click on it and it will send that index over to it. So let's say I clicked on this one. Okay. And I'm going to say, let's say start the level with this character. Okay, so I'm going to do open level. Oh, hello. Open level by object reference. We'll choose the third person map there. So one thing you could also do is make it use of the options tab here. Quite useful. So if you want to do it this way, we can add an options of putting in player equals and then put in, oh hang on, need to do an append string. Type in player equals, and this one will put in the value of 1, for example, because this is that key. Okay, equals 1. And if I was going to do that, it would then take me over to that level, and then the game mode will load up. Boom. And in the game mode, you're going to go into the function over here, and I forget which one it is. Unless it's not on this one. It might be another game mode type. So not game mode base, but the game mode itself. Oh no, it is on that one. Hang on, I just saw it. Yeah, functions override. Get default pawn class for controller. That's cool. Oh, hello. And in here, you're gonna get options, and that'll come with the options that I've loaded the level in with. Okay. And in there, we're going to it's gonna be like question mark player equal, and I'm gonna just do in here and do find no splits I want. In this case, be fine with a split. In string, we're going to do equals and take the right string for this, and that'd be the number. And we're going to do to int string to integer, and do select class. Plug this in here, and then you can make it choose whichever one you want. So if it was, oh no, right, select, oh not select class, sorry, the select wild thing. There we go. And if it comes in as option 0, which in this case it's not, it's coming with option 1, we'll make it not do anything. But option 1 here will make it use a third person character instead. Okay, and that's going to come from that. So we're overriding that part where it looks at what we've set in the game mode settings, and this will now pick one from the list. And you can have multiple characters here, and it'll pick one from the list there. So if I now go back to my level with the menu, yeah, and yep, I'm just going to cheat and put it on a level blueprint. Give me a sec. Create widget. New widget, no, player select, and add that to viewport. Or you go to select it, so get player controller, set input mode to UI, input mode UI only. So I'm rushing, I'm trying to make sure I get as many people as I can in. Show the mouse cursor. Hello. Okay, and that's it. So it should hopefully come up with the menu. Yeah. So I hit this one here. It'll click and load me in with this character. Okay. Oh, but I'm still in input mode UI. Hold on. Get player controller and do. Before we do open level, we'll do set input mode. Game only. Okay, hit that. There I am, and I can run around. Now, to demonstrate this better, what I'm going to do is I make multiple characters. Okay, so if I do duplicates of this, and if I make them look different with a slight different material change. 1 second. Go to there. There's that one. I'm going to duplicate this. And just change the colour of this one. Go. Oh, hang on, it's frozen. Is there a pass option for the options thing in game mode? No, there isn't. You have to make your own one. So it will start with a question mark to denote like query, as I put like an options have been set, and then it's up to you how you denote it. So I'll put in a keyword and it equals, and I'll just search for the keyword and grab the subsequent string up to the next question mark that I put in manually. That's normally what I do. Just tint this one red. Save that. Make another one. Make this one green. There's only one in there. Yeah. Save that one. And we'll make another one. That one. Blue. Okay. And now save that all. And let's apply that to our characters. Give me a second. So we got player first person here. We're gonna make you have a red one. Yeah. You can have a green one. And you can have one. Okay, and to further demonstrate this further. That makes no sense. But we'll go in here, and in this map, I'm just going to delete these other characters. Okay. So we now can tell them by color. Okay, it makes it a bit easier to see. We'll leave the player starting there so he knows where to go. Basically. But we'll leave that and go back to our menu map. Okay, so let's go to our widget. So this one is going to send over a value of 1. Do the exact same thing but the other buttons. So one clicked. That's going to send over a value here of 2. And for this one, then we'll change that to 3. Okay. Let me just make sure these are the right buttons. So I've got button 53, button... Okay, which one's missing one? So this window one here, I'll just delete that. There you go. But these 3 have got our options here. So now if I go back to my game mode... Yep. I can now put in the other 2 in here. So let's add pin. Choose third person character 1, third person character 2, compile, save. Okay, so I push this one, I spawn in the red one. If I push this one, I spawn in with the green one. Push this one, I spawn in with the blue one. Okay. And bingo bango, that's how you do stuff like that. Hopefully that helps. So to go for that really quickly, I'll recap that. So if you've got multiple characters in your game and you want to spawn in as a specific one, like a party, in here you'd go to your player select screen, where it may be, and each button here will send open level but with options. Options are just a generic string you can pass through. You can put in whatever you like. It's up to you as a designer. In this case, I just put in player equals 3. And it'll work. Okay, so that will send over this value. Then on my game mode, you override the function get default pawn class for controller. Normally, if you don't touch this, it just looks at the class default setting here, default pawn class. But we're going to to not do that, which is this bit here. We're not going to do that. Instead, we're going to override it with our own one, and that's going to basically pass through the option string, find the value we want, kick it through to a select, and then pick one. There you go. Okay, and that's now going to load in with that character. Now bear in mind this isn't a permanent fix, so if you do go into another level you do need to do the same thing if you wish, but at that point you probably want to, once you've loaded into the level, you want to maybe save the game, so you save what character class you're starting as. So in this case here I'll look at my save file to see which character I'm starting as, to go back in with that character. Yeah. Hopefully that shows people some cool stuff you can do with the options. I love the options string, by the way. There's so many cool things you can do with it. So really, really cool. Max, question about motivation. Been losing motivation quite a bit lately while I start making games or prototypes. It's usually because my BP skills are good but not pro. Any tip for when you lose motivation? So when you lose motivation, it's probably, as you say, it's usually because you get stuck. Okay. Going with the mindset of like, if you get stuck, put it on the shelf. Do it later when you've got those skills. You're saying you haven't got those skills yet. That's fine. You will later on. You can go back to that one there. And all that means is that you've basically picked a project that is out of scope for you. Pick something small, really, really, really small, really simple, really small, really dumb, and accept the fact that you're not going to make money out of it. You're not going to do really, like, it's not going to do gangbusters. You're not looking at anything like that. But for you, it's a learning exercise, and complete it. A completed game, once you complete it out and release it, will boost your morale so much. It really, really helps. And also, you'll learn so much from releasing just a very simple game. Don't worry if it's a derivative of another game. Don't worry about it being bad graphics, or if like, you're not looking for reviews, you're not looking for anything like that. Treat it as a learning exercise. This is something that's going to build your confidence and build your skills up. So release the tutorial games you've been making, or finish it and send it out to people. You just say release it, because releasing it forces you to put wrappers around it, make it look nice and pretty, like with menus and things like that. But you don't have to release it. If you don't pay up for it, you can just put it on itch, for example, and people can play it there, or you just give it to your friends. But scope down your game into a much more smaller project, something that's maybe only one mechanic in it, something really simple, and complete it. Completing a game will make you feel so much better. And yeah, play games as well. As Dark Souls is saying, check out other videos, what other people are doing. I get inspired by looking at other people's stuff and like, that's cool. I want to see if I can make that, or I wonder how we do that. Yeah. There is a pass option. Oh, is there a pass option now? Ooh. Ooh. This wasn't in 4. Cool, okay. Yeah, this exists now, so that's better. So yeah, just put in the key, which in this case would be player. Yeah. Cool. I don't remember that. That must be. I don't remember that in 4, so maybe that's new. I don't know. I'm gonna check that if it's in 4. That would save me a lot of hassle. But yeah, cool. Yeah, tasty. It's surprising how difficult a simple game can be. Yeah, it can be. I strongly recommend always following my making your first game tutorial, because you make a little maze game. Because not only will you have a complete game out of it, but it's also flexible enough for you to add your own designs to it, experiment a bit with level design, put in extra traps, extra puzzles, whatever you want, and wrap that up and release that. That'd be really good. If you wasn't in the video, pass option. Oh man, I didn't know we had pass option. Maybe I was looking for pass string. Maybe that's why I wasn't finding it. Maybe I was typing in this all the time. We had this, but okay, cool. Right, never mind. You learn something every day. Yeah, I bet I was just typing in pass string and not even looking up to see what else there is to pass, as in pass options. But yeah. Next up, Vinny. Hi there, Ryan. Is there a way to set up an engine gameplay tag from Blueprints, like bind to on construct or something like that? A game. Hello. Is there a way to set up engine gameplay tag from Blueprints, like bind to construct or something like that? Be careful here. Do you mean the actual gameplay tag system, or do you mean something different? Gameplay tag, you can access gameplay tags via blueprints. Fine. Benilo, when's the new inventory stuff? Can't wait. We literally filmed and edited 5 or 6 videos, so they'll be up for patrons this week, all 6 of them. If you don't know, the inventory UE5 tutorial series, I wasn't happy with where it's going, so I basically remade the whole entire thing from scratch, and it's complete. It's all finished. The project files will be available to patrons, well, hopefully this week, along with a bunch of the first few episodes, and these will replace the ones that are currently up. But it comes with full like multiplayer features, drag and drop, using items, gamepad support. Yeah. Hey Ryan, has material displacement been depreciated in UE5? Yes, it has. The reason why is because nanite replaces it. Because it's displacement was not really nice to use. Yeah. Oh, Vinny, yeah, you can do it in like a text file or something like that. You can just import them in. If you don't want to mess about with putting them all in here. Or do you mean like? Oh, okay, so you mean? Okay, so you mean the? Yeah, where we're going. Okay. You want to do this in runtime while the game's playing, you mean? You can't do it in runtime while the game's running. You have to put them all in there from the start. Can nanite work for footprint displacement? No. Because you can't manipulate. Okay, so you're using displacement. There are 2 things to be aware of. There's tessellation and there's displacement. You can displace things still by using world position offset. That's fine, but you can't tessellate anymore. Okay, so you can't take a low res mesh and make it much higher res. You have to have a high res to begin with, or whatever, and then you can use material displacement to move it. Material world position offset to handle things like footprints and things like that. But hopefully, if you're talking about footprints, if you're talking about going through like snow and things like that, yes, you'll be using that method. If you're thinking of it in terms of like just normal footprints, that'll be just decals on the floor. But if you're like pushing through like deep snow, you'll be using a very high detailed mesh with world position offset still. It's the same thing. Like height maps aren't gone, but the tessellation is. But for that stuff to work, you have to make really, really high detailed meshes. Tons and tons of vertices that you don't really need. Thomas, as an aspiring game dev with plans of working in a team, I was thinking of only learning programming, not much graphics, animation, sound. You recommend this approach? I mean, it's hard to recommend anything really, but yeah, I mean, that'd be fine. It depends what kind of job you're going for. If you want to go for more programming jobs, then yeah, practice your developing your programming skills. Definitely. But it's always worthwhile to understand what those other disciplines need and how they work. Many a times I've had to work with individuals who not from games but have like animation backgrounds, and they'll make animation for a game I'm making and it doesn't work because they don't understand what are the needs and what I need from the animations to work, especially like for things like root motion. It's not something that translates. So for me to communicate that across to animator, I need to have some knowledge about animation, which really does help out that communication there. So it does help to have that background knowledge in those different fields, as it allows you to communicate what you need and what you don't need, and also being aware of what they need from you really does help secure those jobs and stay in those roles as you're a worthy member of the team. Okay, we're gonna have one or two more questions, then call it a night. Leon Dernis, hey, I'm currently studying UE5 and wish to be a developer. I have a question. What level beginner is good enough to be accepted into a game dev community to start finding a job? That's an impossible question to answer. Release a game. Make a game. It doesn't have to be commercial. It doesn't have to be like making loads of money or anything like that. Finish a game and release it. Add it to your portfolio. Release it for free even. Whatever you want. But you'd be surprised how many people want to get into games, but very few of them have actually tried making a game fully. Like, don't have seen what goes in all that. So make a game or make a bunch of games and release them on itch or whatever. Complete them and put them out, and that'll be, I'd say, good enough to start really looking for a game dev job. Your first game dev jobs are more likely going to be like indie or very small companies. But you want to make sure you can show that you can do what you're saying you can do. Yeah. Oh, thank you for the donation, Jacob. Thank you. Super chat donation. Thank you. Yeah. As coordinators are saying, like, this applies to any kind of job. Show what you can do. But it's especially true in games. Loads of people want to get into games. A lot of people say they have passion for games development, but very few will actually follow it through and complete something. Complete these little projects. Complete these little things. They don't have to be. They don't have to be blowing games. They don't have to be crazy or anything like that. Because if I'm interviewing someone for a job, I will be looking at their portfolio, and I'll be looking at what kind of games they made, and I'll be asking them questions about the problems they had to overcome while making these games, what they've learned, and how that what learning have they taken forward into other projects, what skills they had to apply to this, and basically anything like that comes from these things. And I'm looking for games that excite me creatively, not necessarily. I'm not looking for another AAA title from them. I'm looking for those creative outlets, and that's where indie companies are going to come in really handy. It shows that you can work as an individual with autonomy, which is quite important for independent studios. No problem, everyone. Thank you very much for your questions tonight. It's been an amazing evening. I think we've done quite a lot there. Answered some really interesting questions. I love the Frisbee thing. That was quite fun to work out, and hopefully you all enjoyed it and got something from it. I want to say a massive thank you to all my patrons and YouTube members for the continued support and their donations in supporting this channel and keeping it alive. It really isn't going to be possible without you guys, so thank you so much for your donations. It really does help. If you'd like to donate and support the channel, head over to patreon.com/Ryan Laley. And all your donations go to keeping the channel alive. This is my full-time job, so that is it. But in your return, you get access to all my videos early, Discord, access to different channels, and depending on your tier, you can get project files, session times, voting, plus many other things going on all the time. So thank you again, everyone. Have a great evening. Take care of yourself. And if you're at EGX tomorrow in London, I'll see you tomorrow in London. Otherwise, have a good night, and I'll see you next Wednesday. Good night, everyone. Bye-bye.